going to do another transferring skill. This is a totally separate skill. First we did transferring from bed to the wheelchair, and now a whole nother skill is transferring from the wheelchair back into the bed. Who remembers the two critical elements for this skill that have to do with safety?
Lock the bed brakes, lock the wheelchair.
Bed brakes and wheelchair brakes. What other elements do you have to remember that pertain to safety but that are not critical or bold print? Gate belt is important.
The bed be the lowest position.
Excellent. Bed in the lowest position and non-skid slipper. So I'm going to tell you a little thing someone taught me to help you remember the 4 safety things. These are for the true transfer skills. Remember this phrase, lock, lock, level, slipper. For the true transfer skills and later on the ambulation skills, say to yourself, lock, lock, level, slipper. You're going to lock the bed brakes, lock the wheelchair brakes. Make sure the bed is in the lowest position, especially when you get the resident out of the bed. And then you want non-skid slippers or shoes on their feet. The 4 elements that pertain to safety. But again, the critical elements are locking the bed brakes and locking the wheelchair brakes. One other thing I'm going to tell you before I do the skill. When Miss Noel here, when we get over to the bed and I pivot her, her robe, this lovely Macy's gown her daughter got her, is going to be hanging down over her hips and her behind. So if she sits down on the bed with the gown underneath her and she can't bear total weight, how am I going to get that gown out from under her hips? Easily, I should say. There isn't a real easy way. There are some tricks I could show you. So what we suggest you do is while you're standing there holding her with the gate belt, with one hand grab the gown in each hand, pull it up off of her hips so that then when you sit her down, she's not sitting on the robe and you don't have to hassle getting it out from under her hips. That's a great tip to do in real life as well. So okay, here we go. We're going to start this skill. I will tell you the things that you need are a gate belt. The actor will already be wearing their non-skid slippers or their shoes, which at this time you're going to be taking them off when you swivel them in bed, and you're going to remove the blanket as well. Knock, knock. Hello, Miss Noel. How are you?
Good.
Good. My name is Barb. Good to see you again. I'm going to help you get back into bed because I'm sure you're ready for a nap. So I'm going to come over and wash my hands, and I'm going to actually pull this curtain because Harvey, you know what, Harvey can be a peeping person. So I opened it. Now I'm going to pull it back since it's in our way for the purposes of testing. Now I'm going to do my lock, lock, level slipper. I'm going to make sure the bed brakes are on. On this bed, the colored little discs on 3 of the wheels are in the lower position. And you can also tell by shimming the bed. So the bed brakes are on. I'm not going to lock the wheelchair brakes yet. I'm going to unlock them to bring Noelle over. She does have her slippers on, and the bed is in the lowest position. But just to double check, it's in the lowest position. I'm going to put the side rails up on this side so we have some support, even though the bed is in the lowest position. It's helpful because when you get your resident in bed, they can grab onto the side rails. Okay, what is it I want to do to the wheelchair before I get the chair real close to the bed for safety?
Remove the line.
Excellent, remove the rigging. And so one way to do that is I push this lever, move it to the side, lift it up, and I can slide it under the bed. The other side I can move out of the way. Okay, great. Now she does not have a strong or a weak side, but if she did, what side would I want to put closest to the bed? Her strong side, right? Because otherwise she'd be like Gumby and she would fall to the ground. Okay, we have the wheelchair nice and close. I'm going to put the brakes on. My very important critical step. Excuse me, we're going to take this blanket off. Now we're going to put on the gate belt. Okay, Miss Noelle, I'm going to reach around you, please. Make sure it's, make sure it's not twisted and back. Thank you. This kind has the alligator teeth, as we call them. So I'm coming under the alligator teeth. I'm moving the belt to the side so we're not irritating her belly button area. I'm taking the flat of my hand, sliding it in. Is that too tight, Miss Noel? I think it needs to be a little more snug. Okay, and then since she's skinny, we're just gonna tuck that strap in there. Okay, and who remembers what I do with my feet to help transfer her safely? Great, Jamie, I can do the V, or I can go toe to toe and knee to knee, but I think the V would be a little bit easier. One thing I'd like to point out, excuse me, when you're getting someone back into bed, it's much easier if you bring them more towards the head of the bed. If you get them too far down in the bed and you don't have someone to help you, it's really hard, as you did with that skill the other day, pulling someone up in bed by yourself. So when we put her back in, we want to position her so that her hips are above the middle of the bed. Okay, Mr. Well, if you can move your feet back a little, please. I'm going to make my V. I'm going to reach in under your arms, grab a hold of your gait belt. If you could push off with your hands on the wheelchair, and on the count of 3, we'll stand. Okay? Ready? Good body mechanics, very unladylike. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Good, how you doing?
Good.
Okay, we're just going to pivot. Can you feel the bed against your knees?
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to grab a hold of your gown while I have your gait belt in my hand. I think we've got you clear. Okay, and then go ahead and feel for the bed with your hands. 1, 2, 3. Good, how you feeling?
I feel good.
Good. Now while I have one hand on her in case she's unsteady, I'm going to push this wheelchair out of the way. I'm going to remove the gait belt. I'm glad you had a good time at that movie. We're going to remove the robe. It'd help if I untied it first. There we go. Set it here for now. Okay, now to make it a little easier for us, I'm going to raise the head of the bed, and I could have done this before I got her into bed. This way, when I swivel her into bed, she's not going to slam her back against the pillow in the head of the bed. Okay, Miss Noel, I'm going to put one arm around your shoulders, the other one under your calves, and we're going to swivel you up, okay? You can push with your hands on the mattress and give me a hand, okay? On the count of 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay. And oh my, I forgot to take your non-skid slippers off. I'm sorry, I contaminated your bed with them. That's a good thing to do before you get your person back in the bed, is to take their shoes off. So are you cold? Would you like your blanket on?
Yes, please.
Okay. And your overbed table, we'll get that for you, and your call light. Gonna connect your call light here. Make sure you can reach it. Can you reach that okay?
Yeah.
Good. Okay, we'll move our wheelchair out of the way. Now your care plan says that these side rails stay up on this side, so that's what we're gonna do. You have your call light, you have your drinks and your magazine. Are you comfortable? Do you need anything else?
I'm fine.
Okay, the bed is in the lowest position. I'm going to push back the curtain, wash my hands, and this skill is complete. Any questions?